Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
WMAL.
7:06 O'Connor and Company on this Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us. Coming up in 30 minutes, Roma Daravi, spokesperson for the Kennedy Center, talk about how things are going there with the new regime. 8:05, Matt Whitaker, the U.S. ambassador to NATO. Huge deal announced yesterday where the U.S. will continue to supply Ukraine with weapons, but we ain't paying for it. NATO is. 8:35, Joe Concha will join us on the New York City mayor's race. In fact, we are going to get to that right now. It's Larry O'Connor alongside Julie Gunlock. Good morning, Julie.
Good morning.
I love going to New York. I do, but I actually haven't gone in. I got to go to New York. Did I mention that my daughter is going to Yale now?
Well, look at
I know.
that.
It's a little disturbing,
What a
actually.
flex.
Before you all start adding me on social media, I ain't paying one thin dime for it. I told her I wouldn't. And before you think I'm a cold, heartless father, she's already got her degree. She's already
This is
working.
a graduate degree.
She decided she wanted a grad degree, and that's on her. And I explained to her, this is on you, but she's worked it out, and she's going to be great.
Oh, good
anyway,
for her.
she's moving to New Haven. She's going to Yale. We're going to be meeting in New York to see a Broadway show together because she is a
How
theater.
fun.
She is a theater person. She is a producer and manager.
Two theater kids
Exactly.
on Broadway. Oh,
exactly.
dear.
Finally, one of my kids has some resemblance to me. She's a nightmare. And so for the first time, I got to tell you, because you know this is my profession. I did this for 20 years of my life.
Right.
I was a theater guy, a theater manager. I have not seen a Broadway show since before the pandemic. It's
Really?
crazy. I have never gone this long.
I don't even know the last time I saw one. Yeah.
I've never gone this long without seeing a Broadway show. It's weird. So I'm going up to New York finally to see it. I love New York, and I feel like this might be my last trip up there because it is in such sorry shape. And if they elect this Kami Mamdani guy as their new mayor, it's over. I mean, it'll get so bad in New York that they will eventually elect a Republican. That's how bad it's going to get.
Yeah. And what does it say for the Jewish community in New York? It's terrifying for them.
I pray. Well, it says they're moving to Florida. That's what it means.
Yeah.
Or they're all moving in with Bethany Mandel in Montgomery
She'll protect
County.
them. She will protect them.
Actually, she would. Andrew Cuomo, the former disgraced governor of New York, who was drummed out of office for scandals, but he should have actually been indicted for the deaths of thousands because of his murderous policies during COVID-19, forcing
Heartless.
COVID-positive patients into a nursing home and infecting, thousands of senior citizens, the most vulnerable in the state. He's running for mayor because really he's trying to revitalize his political
He's
career,
shameless. These people are shameless.
He is literally shameless because he just got humiliated by the voters of New York City, choosing this 33-year-old communist who's only been in the country for 7 years rather than face Andrew Cuomo. Now, you would think that Andrew Cuomo would bow out. You would think that he would say,
you don't
okay,
like
fine.
me.
My own voters have sent me a message. I'm leaving. And we got to protect the city from Kami Mamdani. So all of my supporters, all of my voters either vote for Eric Adams or vote for Curtis Sliwa.
Yeah.
They're not my choice, but better than the communist, right?
But I'm going to be selfless because I care about the city.
Nope. He's too much of a narcissist. He's too much of an egomaniac. He's still on the ballot as an independent, and he made it official yesterday. He's running, and he's going to split the ticket, and he's going to hand it to Zoran Mamdani. Here's cut 16. Andrew Cuomo in this electrifying, dynamic, authentic video that he posted on social media.
Hello, I'm Andrew Cuomo. And unless you've been living under a rock, you probably know that the Democratic primary did not go the way I had hoped. To the 440,000 New Yorkers who voted for me, a sincere thank you. Thank you for believing in me, in my agenda, and in my experience. And I am truly sorry that I let you down. But as my grandfather used to say, when you get knocked down, learn the lesson and pick yourself back up and get in the game. And that is what I'm going to do. The fight to save our city isn't over. Only 13% of New Yorkers voted in the June primary. The general election is in November, and I am in it to win it.
Oh, my God. And I am a robot.
I have been told that the social media TikToker Insta videos are the way to get new voters. So turn the page, please. I am talking to you now, authentically, and as my natural human self, I assure you. Look at my nipple rings.
Stop it. Stop it.
Well, that's been verified, right? He's got the...
Oh, my God.
All right. Do we want more of him, or do we just want to move on to the communist? Let's move on to the communist. Here was Zoran Mamdani yesterday talking about acknowledging. So here's the funny thing about Mamdani. He's got a run saying that New York City is so broken that you need a communist, yet at the same time not throw under the bus the Democrats who have been ruining New York City, right? Because Bill de Blasio, a big part of why New York City is in the toilet right now, is actually part of his campaign, right? So basically you're voting for the de Blasio policies that ruined New York in the first place, and he can't certainly make the case that Eric Adams in just 4 years has ruined New York. So who are you going to blame? Who are you going to blame? Go ahead, Zoran. Take it away.
As Bob was saying, fight back against an authoritarian administration.
There you go.
And Donald Trump's attempt at ripping up the very fabric of the city that we call home, of the country that we belong to and that we love.
Yes.
We know that his policies,
yes,
they are not just disappearing our neighbors, detaining our friends.
What?
They are also turning the world away from our city.
That's right.
Sure.
The rapid decline of tourists coming to this city is an issue not simply for us living up to our word as a city that welcomes the world, but it's one that has very real economic impacts for artists that are with me here today and those beyond. It is the difference between whether or not people can afford to keep calling the city their home. And so I will be proud to be the mayor of this city, to stand up for this city, and to make it clear that the world is welcome in this city. And that we need to turn the page on this federal administration that is looking to inspire fear among people across this country and across this world when they come to think of who we are and what we are.
So it's all Trump's fault. You see, Trump has been
boy.
president for 6 months, but the city is being torn apart, and it's all Trump's fault. And the reason that we have a decline in tourism, of course, is because of Donald Trump. Not the illegal alien criminals who are running rampant in the streets, not the rats, not the trash on the streets, not the pro-Hamas mobs that are taking over the streets on a daily basis, not the homeless that are defecating and urinating. No. It's Trump's policies.
That's right.
That have driven tourism away.
It's all
from
they have,
New York
Larry.
City. But hold
It's all
on,
they have.
tourism is up in other parts of the country. So Trump's policies are turning international visitors away from from New York, but not away from Washington D.C. or Florida.
Right.
Facts
Facts don't
make
matter,
sense.
Larry.
Facts do not matter. So there you go. That's Andrew Cuomo really excited. And this is my favorite part. This is my favorite. At the very end of the press conference, he never actually took questions, but one of the reporters shouted, "Will you denounce the phrase globalize the intifada?" Considering the violent attacks that we've seen in this country in that name. We just had a shooting in Kentucky. We just had a shooting in Kentucky at a Christian church. We had the Molotov cocktail attack in Colorado. Yep. Will you denounce globalize the intifada? Listen to what happens. Cut 19.
I think we're done here.
Channel 7,
we're going to go. Come on.
We haven't had a chance to
We're wrapping up. Sorry, folks. Okay. We're wrapping up. I'm so sorry, guys.
Sorry. Do you see it as a national race?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
They're trying to. There's no more questions. They start shouting questions. So what do they? Cue the band. Cue the trumpet.
That's amazing.
And they start playing a New Orleans song when the Saints go marching in New York. There you go. That's what you did. And that's all he's going to do. That's all he needs to do because his only opponent now is Andrew Cuomo. I mean, I guess Eric Adams and Curtis Leo. Well, we'll see. But those three combined, the anti-Zoran Mamdani vote is enough to defeat him, but they can't set aside their giant egos, the three of them, and figure it out. So there it is.
I get it, and I know we're up against, but ultimately, gosh, I'm mad at the voters. I'm just mad. What is wrong with New Yorkers? Who would
Listen,
support this guy?
Here's the problem. Cuomo has a point. Hardly anybody voted in the Democrat primary. The general election is a different thing. The problem is people hate him.
I know.
People hate Andrew Cuomo. You cannot give them Andrew Cuomo as the only alternative. There's three alternatives. You vote for the communist. You vote for the lying, hypocritical, scandal-plagued, murderer, in my opinion, or you move. And I think people are going to choose number 3 in the long run. Joe Concha, New Yorker, New Jersey guy. He'll join us coming up at 8:35.
WMAL, making sense of the news. Live from the Home Paramount Pest Control Studios. Home Paramount, the leader in pest control since 1939.
Speaking of crazy candidates for mayor, we moved from the communist in New York City to, I don't know what to tell you, the guy running for mayor in Minneapolis. As you know, there's a large Somalian community there.
Yes.
There didn't used to be. But during the, I believe it was during the Obama administration or the Clinton administration?
I believe Obama, but I'm not totally sure.
It was determined that a huge influx of refugees would be accepted from Somalia, war-torn nation, and for some inexplicable reason, they moved from the deserts of Somalia from the eastern African coast to frigid Minneapolis-St. Paul area.
Yep.
And they've taken root there. And Ilhan Omar is one of their congressmen, as you know. And now you've got a Somali national running for mayor. And somebody did a side-by-side comparison, and I can't unsee it now. You know the movie, the Tom Hanks movie?
Captain Phillips.
Captain Phillips, thank you. When the Somali pirates take over the tanker, and he says, Look at me. I'm the captain now.
I'm captain now.
I'm captain now. It's that guy. It's the Somali pirate.
I believe he is an American citizen, though. I believe he is an American citizen. He was born in America. But you're absolutely right that he looks exactly out of central casting.
His
like
name is
that guy, yeah.
Omar Fatah. He is a state senator. He is running for mayor. And he's a socialist.
He's a socialist, yeah.
And he'll win. This is the state that elected Tim Walz as governor. Of course he'll win.
He was born in Washington, D.C., and he has served in the Minnesota legislature since 2021. But you're right. He is an absolute socialist. And, he says things like, kind of like Ilhan Omar says, like, we are Somalis. We are, that is where we are from. We are trying to turn this city into Somalia, into Mogadishu, what have you. And certainly, no, I don't think I've ever seen anything from either one of them celebrating the freedoms that America has given Ilhan Omar or this man's family. So, yeah, very disturbing. Another American city. And
let's be clear, just in terms of setting aside the refugee status, the ethnicity, and all of that, which is significant, by the way.
Yeah.
But the policies, the political philosophy, it's the exact same playbook as Zoran Mamdani. He is
20. This is $20 minimum wage. This is blocking cooperation with ICE, defunding police. It's the same
freeze
playbook.
The rent.
Yep.
Trump-proof the city, and he's communicating all of these policies via snappy, sharply produced Instagram and YouTube, TikTok videos.
Yep.
It's when I say the playbook, I'm speaking quite literally. That's not a figurative. There is a playbook. They are all doing the exact same thing, and that doesn't happen naturally and organically. I promise you. This is a plan. The Democrat Socialists of America, DSA, they have infiltrated into the good old-fashioned Democrat Party now. This is what the party has become, and they are all using the same political campaign tactics from city to city to city. We're going to see it in D.C. at the next mayoral race. I have no doubt. Some young person with snappy social media, and they're all repeating the exact same policies, and they're making it. They're selling communism like a product. because they're influencers. They're not actual thought leaders and actual politicians who have any kind of track record, but it doesn't matter.
You have let's not forget, you have a Democrat Party, which is perfectly fine with able-bodied individuals with no dependents being on Medicaid and sitting around and watching TV for 8 hours a day and doing nothing. The established Democrat Party is perfectly fine when Republicans say, "I just want to get able-bodied people without dependents off of Medicaid," and you can volunteer. You don't even, if you're having trouble finding a job, just volunteer. Just get off the couch. The mainstream Democrat Party objects to that. So when we have these radicals running in major U.S. cities and the Democrats support them, there's a reason. The Democrat Party has moved so far left, Larry. I'm talking, this is the establishment now. This is the mainstream Democrat Party.
Oh, and well, you heard Ken, what's his name, the chairman of the DNC, Ken Martin, I think it is. Yeah. Ken Martin was asked about this, and he said, I think we're a big tent. We're a big tent party.
David Hogg was too conservative.
That's right. We're a big tent party. We're fine with all of this stuff. Of
From
course,
the river to the sea. Yep.
Yeah, the big tent doesn't include anybody who thinks that a baby should be kept alive in the womb.
Or Jews.
Or anybody who, that other than that, we're fine. It's 7:23.
Coming up, we'll have an update from Roma Daravi on all the goings-on at the Kennedy Center. Keep it here at 7:30.
WMAL FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now. Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
It is 7:36 now. O'Connor and Company plugging along here on a very busy Tuesday morning. Coming up at 8:05, are we going to have to call him Your Excellency? Matt Whitaker, now the U.S. ambassador to NATO, friend of the program, frequent guest. Now that he's an ambassador, he's a big shot. Usually he comes on and he gives me a hard time. Julie, I'll be on my best behavior. I want an invitation to Brussels after all.
Yes, exactly.
At 8:35, Joe Concha will join us, talk about the mayor's race in New York. That's Julie Gunlock. I'm Larry O'Connor. And joining us now, another friend of the program, Roma Daravi. She, of course, is the spokesperson at the Kennedy Center, and for the last several weeks, she's heard this glorious sound in the halls, echoing, resonating through the... Can I tell you, in all my years working in musical theater, this is my favorite show. And Roma, I never got to work on this show. It was at the Schubert in Los Angeles, the theater that I managed, a year before I got there. So I never did a run of Les Mis. So I'm very jealous of you right now. Congratulations on a triumph.
Oh, thank you, Larry. Well, I can't get you to Brussels, but I can get you to the Kennedy Center. And Les Mis is over, but we have a lot of really, really great programming around the corner. So it's an exciting time at Kennedy Center.
We definitely want to talk about the stuff you've coming up, but I think it's worth noting because there was so much attention on this particular booking of Les Miserables, and so many of the people, some of the actors made noise that they were going to boycott and they weren't going to show up and that no one was going to come. This was a triumph. Tell us some of the stats. Did it sell out the entire time, basically?
It really did, Larry. We were between 95 and 99% capacity of the theater for every single performance.
Wow.
Our planned revenue goals exceeded far beyond what we had set for us. We're at 135% of that goal. We, of course, had an amazing opening night fundraiser with a special guest of honor, President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump. That raised $10.2 million, all of which is going directly back into the center with no strings attached. By the way, a lot of the fundraising efforts, they come with a lot of strings attached. Money has to be allocated specifically. This can be used exactly where it's needed most. I'll just mention this. There's this narrative going around in a lot of really elitist circles, the leftist media, that people don't want to go to the Kennedy Center. That couldn't be farther from the truth.
Yeah.
The run of Les Mis had 85,000 patrons enter our halls. We've had other record-breaking evenings. We've had other record-breaking fundraisers. Just in the last month, we broke the fundraising record for the 4th of July event. We opened it up to the community, not to just donors, not just to the elite, but to the community. We had an open event for the first time that was truly opening our doors. And so that's really what is important for people to know that are listening today. Try your best to ignore the lies out there and focus on the facts and hear from the people in the theater themselves. The artists are so talented. The people that are working in the halls truly cherish the arts, including our new president, Ambassador Grinnell. He is working day in and day out to make this place as best as it can be.
That's great to hear. And real fast, when they say people aren't going to the Kennedy Center, they mean their kind of people aren't going to the Kennedy Center, their pals. And I just want one other thing, Julie, as I throw it to you. Having worked in the business, having worked in theater, first of all, I was concerned about this run. This is a long run for the Kennedy Center. I believe it was 5 weeks. And generally speaking, these months, right after school closes and into the hot summer months, those are not necessarily great times to sell tickets to musicals. So the fact that you did 135% above your estimated revenue for this run, that absolutely is a triumph. Go ahead, Jules.
Roma, just quickly, what is coming up? Interested in, this is a great run of Les Mis, but what are the next things people should be looking forward to?
Oh my goodness! Well, I am so excited for all of the families that are out of school right now and looking for things to do with your kids. Bring them to the Kennedy Center. We just opened Sesame Street the musical. The shows are not at 8 p.m. like most musicals. They're in the morning. They're throughout the day. There is a special Cookie Monster luncheon special in our cafeteria at the Kennedy Center. So super fun for all the kiddos. And I would just say
you're not going to let Elmo scream his racist anti-Semitic stuff, are you, on the stage at the Kennedy Center? Do we have some kind of control over that?
Well, we are definitely keeping it clean for the children, so there's no concern there.
You gotta watch Elmo. All right.
Well, the puppets do what the puppets do, but this Kennedy Center is family friendly. That's a whole different
It's
guest
an old
spot.
showbiz axiom. Puppets do what puppets do. Yes. Getting off the
there's a lot going on that might have been concerning in the quote unquote family theater before, and we are making sure that does not happen anymore, not under this Kennedy Center.
Well, and this fall, this next season, you've got Spamalot, you got Chicago, you got Moulin Rouge, fresh from the Broadway run, and also Back to the Future from the Broadway runs. I'm looking forward to those shows as well. Although I am concerned about Mrs. Doubtfire. Doesn't that classify as a drag show?
Oh, Larry. I love that you asked that because the people need to hear it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the difference between Mrs. Doubtfire and a drag show strutting down Main Street with people in no clothing for toddlers.
Roma, with that Larry, I think you're ready for a guest hosting position.
Yeah,
here.
Seriously, that's you've picked up the culture of the show already. We know Roma and I have known each other for many years. Fast, Roma, we talk about theater obviously because I love that stuff, but the National Symphony Orchestra is absolutely transcendent. There's something about being in that theater and hearing that I think the finest symphony orchestra in America, if not on the planet. Incredible conductor. Maestro is brilliant. I got to see 2 concerts so far this year. I plan on seeing some more. What else can you tell us about what's going on with the National Symphony Orchestra, which is really a hidden gem here in D.C.?
Well, we're going to have some really exciting announcements coming, and I don't want to give too much away, but we do have our next season up. And just to continue on the success that you mentioned, Larry, this last weekend, not only did we have Les Mis selling out the theater, but we had the National Symphony Orchestra alongside Lindsey selling out 2 shows in a row, both nights of the weekend, completely packed crowds, really unique art. On the stage. So the symphony is not just for classical music lovers. There are pops concerts where we bring in modern talent like Lindsey and they play alongside the orchestra it is an unbelievable experience. Everybody leaves that show being just totally dumbfounded by what they saw on that stage. It brings every song that these artists play to a whole new level. And so I would just encourage everybody over the summer. The NSO plays at Wolf Trap, which is a beautiful outdoor venue. So we've got a great partnership with them. And, you know, at the end of the day, the Kennedy Center is an extremely unique art institution. It's not Carnegie Hall. We have different types of programming. Inside of our building, there's comedy, there's ballet, there's theater, there's opera. So there is truly something for everyone. And this Kennedy Center is for everyone. You know, really, one thing that your listeners will be surprised to hear all of this, I'm sure, because the old Kennedy Center never used to come on WMAL. They didn't talk to this portion of the community. Yep. It's a big shift. And so we are talking to new people. We are bringing in new patrons. Everyone, certainly the old, are welcome to stay, and we hope they do. But it's really important that everyone feels like they're being included in what is America's cultural center.
The arts are for everyone. Absolutely.
Everyone.
Especially the performing arts. And it's good to hear that you endorse the Wolf Trap National Symphony, because I plan on going to see the Gershwin Concerto this Friday at Wolf Trap, and I didn't want you to think I was cheating on the Kennedy Center. So that's good to know that's part of the deal.
Oh, that's
Thank you,
wonderful,
Roma.
Eric.
Congrats.
Absolutely.
Give our best to the ambassador. It's always good to hear from you as well, and we'll see you soon. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
It's 7:45. It's summertime, and of course, ice cream is a go-to to keep things cool. But your ice cream might be a little bit different going forward. A group of 40 different ice cream producers, which make up 90% of the ice cream sold in the U.S., have promised to voluntarily to remove red dye number 3, red dye number 40, green dye number 3, blue dye number 1, blue dye number 2, yellow dye number 5, and yellow 6 by the end of 2027. This, of course, was cheered on by the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And when you think of ice cream in terms of your health, I think that the dyes are the least of the concerns. But
that's right.
That's okay. The ice cream will be more natural. And I'm a vanilla guy,
why is that okay? I mean, honestly, there's a lot of not natural things, Larry, like botulism that kill people. So synthetic things are actually, you know what, like when man puts his brain together and says, like, how do chemicals work? And they create a synthetic version of a natural thing. Sometimes the synthetic version is actually better. So whatever. Everybody better get used to beets in their ice cream, okay? And other things. I'm so tired of this. Like,
well, why does ice cream need to be all these fake colors?
Okay, fine.
Anyway?
Because you know why? You know why? Food marketers actually look into this stuff. You know what?
Yeah.
And there is there's a razor thin edge among food manufacturers of what things are more popular. And they actually research this stuff. They don't just like put dye in there because, let's poison everyone, okay? They actually did some market research, and it turns out that people like colorful things, okay? Look, I'm not here to criticize consumer behaviors, okay? But that is true. That consumers are like, I like pink ice cream, okay? So then the food manufacturer's like, I'm going to put this infinitesimal amount of food dye in there. And then Gwyneth Paltrow and RFK and everybody freaks out. And then, let's all try to be goop and natural about things. Meanwhile, they're stuffing botulism in their face, right?
I just want to point out before we get
it still has cream. It still has sugar.
Julie is not pro-dye. She's pro-freedom.
I'm pro-dye, actually. I am pro-dye.
And I think what you're saying.
You know what I'm not? You know what I'm not pro? I'm not pro totally redoing the food industry and taking out things that are not harmful and still keeping the high fat content and the sugar in there, and like thinking that you take red dye out and everybody's going to be a size 2.
Well, that'll be next.
And healthy and
camel's nose under the tent. My favorite thing about this story is the word voluntarily. These businesses have decided to do this on their own.
They're desperate to please the administration.
No, I think they're desperate to please all of the MAHA moms who aren't going to buy their stuff anymore.
That is true, and I do praise them for that.
The market is still prevailing here, and that's the key.
Yes, but MAHA is about making America healthy again. This will do absolutely nothing to make anyone healthy. Okay, just.
It's 7:53.